The most controversial bill ever, apart from the FGM bill, is the Judicial Officers Bill. The same bill is in this 2024 draft, right?
The provisions of the bill, not the whole of it.
The provisions.
Yeah, one provision of the bill.
Okay.
And that, of course, was what a lot of people were objecting to.
Yeah.
That is the provision that if you are a retired judge, you'll get the same salary as a comparable judge who is currently serving is receiving. It is in the 2024 draft. It was in the 2020 draft. So it is there.
It's there.
You are absolutely right.
There's one thing also that I had concerns about, and I think some other people do. I don't know. I think we discussed that here too. There's this part which says the judiciary, their how do you call it? Their budget, instead of going directly to the National Assembly, which is the procedure now, they go to the National Assembly, they go there and defend it. But instead, it will go to the presidency, and the president will have to make recommendations and send it to the National Assembly. Is that right?
So what do you say is the procedure now?
The procedure is it goes straight to the National Assembly. That's what the procedure is. Or was that what was in the 2020 bill draft?
Well, 2020, 2024 are just drafts.
Yeah.
The law, as it currently is, if you come to the section of the judiciary, I think the budget goes to, you just send it to the president, but he cannot do anything about it. He just has to forward it to the National Assembly. That is what the 1997 Constitution says, and that is what is happening. Yeah.
But then I think the reason why in the 2020 draft, the independence of the judiciary, because the judiciary and the National Assembly are separate arms of government, just like the executive. Why should the judiciary bill budget go to the presidency? Don't you think there will be some interference there? If you think the judiciary should be independent, why should their budget go to the presidency? For what? What is the agenda there?
Well, Fatu, let me remind you about how the 1997 Constitution came into play. The 1970 Constitution was the operational constitution until 1994, when it was suspended. And so the country was being governed by degrees. Yes. So it was during that period that the 1997 Constitution was drafted, and then it came into effect. Yes. So the 1997 Constitution says, and I can read it to you now, section 144. The Chief Justice shall submit the annual estimates of expenditure for the judiciary, judicature, that's the way it put it, to the President for presentation to the National Assembly in accordance with this Constitution. So it goes to the presidency, and the President sends it to the National Assembly. The President shall cause the estimates to be placed before the National Assembly without amendment. The President cannot amend it, but may attach to them his or her own comments and observations.
That is the thing. The reason why we don't want the 1997 Constitution is because we believe the document has so many issues. And that is why the entire country believe that the 1997 has to go. We need a new draft. And in the sense of having independence of these three arms of government, the executive is his own arm, the judiciary is, the National Assembly has its own structure, it's a different branch of the government. Why should the judiciary bill go to the presidency for any comments or anything to be accompanied? Because remember, most of the time, in what we have in our National Assembly is presidents have the incumbents or ruling governments mostly would have the majority of National Assembly members. Now, if the president makes a recommendation on that budget, you're most likely going to have his National Assembly members voting along the line of the president's recommendations. If it suits the interests of the president, it doesn't suit the interests of the judiciary, that's where the conflict of interest comes in, and the influence of the presidency on the judiciary. Don't you think that section would have some influence on the judicial section of the government and should just be removed? You don't think that? For fairer,
Oh, no, I accept that. In fact, I've been dealing with these issues.
Yeah.
Even before I think that is absolute nonsense. Yes, it shouldn't happen. The judiciary should not submit its budget through the president.
Yeah.
It is an arm of government. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are absolutely right. There is a conflict there.
Yeah.
It gives the president some kind of control over the judicial budget. Because if the president made any comments or observations on the judicial budget, obviously in a National Assembly that he controls, we know the outcome.
Yeah.